Hey, good day. My name is Robert Brown. Welcome to the Rob Report. How you doing today? Well, seemed like my last video kind of got a little touchy with some people. I had the honor of having Brooke respond to me on Twitter about the video I did about her. You know, Brooke Thomas, TYT reporter, CBS reporter, and wherever she can get work. So first of all, I don't fault her for that. Wherever you can get work and get paid, go get that money. I just ask people not to sell out to get the money, because either way you're gonna lose the money and you're still gonna be a sellout. Is Brooke a sellout? I'm not saying Brooke is a sellout. Me and Brooke just have some different opinions. I voiced my opinion concerning her caping for Joe and apologizing for Joe and saying that he's learned a lot and he's not that way. That was 13 years ago, 20 years ago. He's an old man now. He's changing his ways. And I got a problem with that, because even though let's say he did change, he's done nothing to fix his mistakes. And he's not looking to fix his mistake. And he have a hard time admitting that he made a mistake. Joe Biden to this day does not take blame for how he treated Anita Hill. He doesn't take blame for the horribleness of the crime bill. He doesn't apologize for that. He doesn't apologize for the discrimination on school busing. There's a lot of things Joe Biden don't apologize for, because like Trump, who never apologized for anything, both are narcissists. Both have a problem with admitting they're wrong. That's what a narcissist does. They have no inkling of wrong. When the last time you heard Trump say he was wrong? No, he ain't gonna say he's wrong, even though he's been wrong. Even though my buddies, the Central Park Five was exonerated, Trump ran his mouth on the boys as if he really raped that lady and defiled Central Park, which he assumed that's his. To this day, he have not apologized for those boys. So Trump is a narcissist. Joe Biden is a narcissist. Trump is a bigot. Joe Biden is a bigot. Trump is an upfront in your face bigot. Joe Biden is a low key, smile in your face all the time, want to stab you, take your place, backstabber type of person. So me and Brooke have a couple of problems there. So let me say something about Brooke, because I think Brooke is brilliant. I think Brooke is smart. She have the credentials to do what she does. I think she's one of the brightest on-air personality. I think she's a real true journalist. She ain't Simone Sanders. Well, let me put it this way. When it comes to credibility as a journalist, she ain't a political pundit like Simone Sanders. She actually works in journalism. She actually is a news reporter. But again, I don't take nothing back what I said on my video, that her caping for Joe Biden is disgusting. And what I'm starting to understand is she's a type person is she's forgiving. She's loving. She's willing to put things behind. She's willing to give people another chance. You got people like that. She's from Oklahoma. I think she's from Muskogee. I've been to Oklahoma. I love Oklahoma. I've been to Muskogee. Muskogee, that's just how the people are in that area. You know, they're a lot of forgiving, loving people. Matter of fact, one of my best friends have a church out there in Muskogee. And so I don't take anything from her on that end. I just got a disagreement with this Joe Biden thing. And that's that. Now we're gonna go through some of these tweets. She kind of got offended with some of the things that I said. And I just want to reiterate to her that I hear you, Brooke. But let's go over some of these tweets. All right, so let's go to her website where she answered me. All right, so most of my tweets today. Okay, so we're going to start here 6 hours ago. All right, so Brooke said, answered to me, and she said, at Bob TV NYC, I noticed you laughed at John pointing out the harm and lack of humanity when using the term illegals. That's when your commentary went from very weird to blatantly gross. And I'm also not your baby or your sugar plum, but thanks for watching. So she called herself putting me in check. Believe me, if you were my baby and my sugar plum, let me not go there. Okay. All right, so let me deal with this in a professional manner, because you know I'm professional, right? First of all, you know me, I'm not politically correct. I could care less what other people say. I'm not going to kiss up to what the United States want us to, I just don't go with the flow. I'm not a political correct guy. Matter of fact, I become politically incorrect on purpose because politics is not going to determine who I am. All right? So let me deal with this. First of all, let me get this up. Though I call you baby. I call you sugar plum. You're not the first person I ever called that. You don't have to be somebody, you don't have to actually be my baby or my sugar plum. That's an term of endearment. I didn't call you my baby. I didn't call you my sugar plum. Now, mind you, I was trying to calm myself down, and I was trying to be not Bob TV. Because I do think you're beautiful. I do think you're cute. I think you want to look. And if you want to call me sexist, fine. And if you guys want to call me sexist, fine. Look, I'm not a politically correct dude. I'm a man. I'm from the hood. I recognize a good-looking woman, and sometimes I say out my mouth what I feel on the inside. And I believe that whatever in the heart gonna come out anyway, and what you say in your heart is just as much as you saying it outside. So why would I want to keep that stuff in my heart? If I want to say you're beautiful, I'm gonna say it. If I call you sugar plum on the inside and the outside, baby, cupcakes, whatever, it's just a term of endearment. I understand. If that offended you, I apologize, but hey, it is what it is, okay? I don't know what to say about that. And you shouldn't get offended because somebody said baby, sugar plum, honey bunch. Why are you getting offended over that? I didn't call you a harsh name. And who said, well, let me stop. She probably not offended. She just probably trying to put me in check, saying, look, I'm not your baby. I'm not your sugar plum, but thanks for watching. Brooke, I know that. Believe me, I will have a big smile on my face if you were really my sugar and my baby. And I will have a personal talk with you, and we would not agree, but we'll agree that you're a beautiful woman, okay? All right, now, your term about illegals. About this Joe Biden thing. Now, you said, I noticed you're laughing at John pointing out the harm and lack of humanity when using the term illegals. First of all, John checked you on that. Because John was saying, look, we don't call people illegal. I don't know who we is because I'm not part of we. I'm not a Democrat. I don't even consider myself progressive. I believe in progressive policies. I believe in progressive issues. I'm not under nobody label. So no, I'm not part of the John, we don't call people illegal. Let me tell you something. If you steal something, you're a thief. If you kill somebody, you're a killer. Now, mind you, I am from a religion that once you confess your sins, you become brand new. What you did in the past is gone. You're not that person no more. That's my faith. Okay? But if you come across this country illegally, if you come from another country into this country illegally, they're going to term you illegal. I can change that if you want me to, Brooke, and say what you did was an illegal thing. But the point is, if I rob somebody, what do they call me? A robber. If I steal from somebody, what do they call me? A thief. All right, if I do something illegal, I may be considered an illegal. And that's not for Latinos. That's not for Mexicans. That's for anybody who come in this country and don't do it the right way. You coming in here illegally. So if you want to get offended over that, get offended for that. But just remember, I didn't say it. The guy who you caping for said it. Joe Biden. And you said thanks for watching. Okay. All right. Now, she said, just saw your video. Thanks for the shout out, I guess. But you're being intentionally misleading and thinking that's unfair. I've been very clear of the harm caused by the crime bill. The conversation here was about the need to be fair, equal, honest, and factual. The need to be fair, equal, honest, and factual about what? About Joe Biden's record? About his record that he still holds to be the best thing, his shining achievement. He crafted this by his bare hands, and how it affected the black community. I agreed with you on that. I agree with you on the fact that Bernie Sanders, now I don't agree with the fact that Elizabeth Warren, because Elizabeth Warren wasn't in office during that time. I don't even know how she got in the picture. But I'd hold Bernie Sanders accountable for that, and I was one of the biggest Bernie or bust dudes that you ever saw in your life. Matter of fact, that's what BOBTV was all about. I was one of the biggest Bernie Sanders supporters ever. I named my show BOBTV. Started off as Bernie or Bust TV, but then I realized my name is Robert, so that stands for Bob too. So I wasn't going to shut my channel down because they cheated. The Democratic Party cheated Bernie Sanders and lost to Trump. I wasn't going to shut it down. But I agree with you. I agree with you on the fact that Bernie Sanders signed that bill. I agree with you on the fact that Joe Biden signed the bill. Hillary Clinton was the P.T. Barnum Bailey of the bill. But I said Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders actually signed their name on the dotted line. And then I told you, I didn't tell you, I said in the piece that it does not excuse neither one of them, because to this very day, there are people still in jail from the effects of that bill. There's people who lost a lot of kids who, grown men like me, who lost a lot of fathers or a lot of brothers. Some kids lost their fathers either to that, where they had to go to jail, or they got brutalized by police, or they got shot by police, or they end up going to jail and never made it out of jail because the rate of survival in jail is very, very low. The effects of that affected the black community and even the Hispanic community and majority non-white community. I talked about that. I talked about how I was brutalized. So I agree with you on that. But right now, there's nothing to excuse Joe on that, because Joe is still trying to say that was his shining achievement. Where's there to be fair about that? Why do I need to be fair about a man who hold that up like a beacon of light? That he run his mouth and say, as you saw in that video, I'm the one who crafted the crime bill. I'm the one who did this. I'm the one who did that. I'm the one who did this. I'm the one who did that. I'm the one. Like he Neo or somebody, man. No, you ain't the one. And you ain't Jet Li. So no, Brooke, I don't agree with you on that. The conversation here was about the need to be fair, equal, honest, and factual. You're being equal because I understand who you are. From what I know so far, Brooke, you're probably a woman from Muskogee or Okmulgee. And those are Bible Belt towns. And you probably have a Christian background. I don't know. But it seemed like your forgiveness and all that is rooted in that. That's why I mentioned to you, yes, God forgives. We forgive. You probably forgive. But that record ain't going nowhere. And that doesn't mean Joe Biden has made a change of pace because you said so, or he may claim to say it with his mouth. It's what you say and do. It's not what you say, it's what you do that matters. And right now, the crime bill is still affecting black people. And Joe have not promised to do anything to overturn it or change it. Now, let's go to another one. In our criticism on the subject, on TYT with her and John, regardless of whether we like someone overall as a journalist. I'm not a journalist, never claimed to be. I guess people say I am. I'm a commentator. I run my mouth. I'm from the street. I got a voice. I'm not in that category. I guess you could say I'm a journalist, depending on the definition of a journalist. I don't have credentials. I don't have a record like you do of being a anchor woman for CBS, NBC, and Access Hollywood and all that. I don't have that. By the way, the tweet I said about I'm probably out of your league. You know, you're a young, beautiful black woman. You probably got those Hollywood bods. When they say Hollywood bods, I mean, you know, the Brad Pitt types guys. You know, probably got a better shot at me ever having dinner with you than I do. Okay, but no, you said in our criticism on all subjects, regardless of whether someone overall as a journalist, maybe it's not important to you, but the DREAM Act was a great thing. Did I say the DREAM Act was not a great thing? Did I say the DREAM Act was wrong? The DREAM Act is designed to keep kids or people who were born from other people who came here illegally in this country, but it wasn't designed primarily for the people who came here illegally. And I do believe there should be an honest path to citizenship where the people who did come here illegally become legal citizens of the United States. I believe a lot of people come here for the American dream. It hurts me that people from Europe can come over here and get in this country real easy, but people from down south can't. You know what I'm saying? Down south, I'm not talking about Tampa, Florida. To me, that's not fair. Now, I'm from the black community. I'm what you call ADOS. I'm what you call that. I am very serious about my people getting what they've been crying for. Let me tell you something. We've set up all this stuff. We fought for all this stuff. We bled for all this stuff. And to not get the attention that we need, or the attention be removed away from us and on other people's needs, is not fair. I'm not saying they shouldn't get attention, but they shouldn't get attention more than we get attention. So who told you I wasn't for DREAM Act? I just said that what make you think that Biden deep down in his heart supports the DREAM Act? As you heard 13 years ago, Biden was not about that. What Biden was doing was riding the coattail of Obama. Just like when Biden mentioned that, hey, I'm open to the LGBT community, that forced Obama and forced Hillary Clinton to go that way, because what they did, they ended up getting the whole community to support them. I support you, I'm for you, I expect you to support me and be for me. So automatically, a lot of people in the LGBT community came over to support Barack Obama, when prior to Biden saying that, he wasn't there yet. Hillary Clinton wasn't there yet, and a lot of other people wasn't there yet, but Biden forced them to be there. That don't mean that they're really there. Just because I have a stance politically doesn't mean I have a stance in my heart. That's why Hillary Clinton say I have a public position and a private position. Most people have a public position and a private position. Most people are not up front the same on and off, at home and in front of a camera. Most people not. I try my best to be the way it is. That's why when I mention honey bum, sugar plum, and all that, that's just me. I'm a man. I'm a man, appreciate a beautiful woman, and not just that's just me. And if you want to call me sexist, then sexist I'll be. I like sex. I don't like it from the clown from It, but call me whatever you want. I'm just a man that appreciates a woman, and I try to reacting to what she had to say to my tweets. All right, so I did some comments on somebody commented. I think I commented 3 times on this. She said, Clip and I was pointing out he has made some efforts to fix his mistakes on immigration. How? What are the efforts he made? I'm open to learn, Brooke. I don't know everything. Show me some legislation where Joe Biden was open to fix the immigration. And was he fixing it so he can get the majority of the vote of the Latinos? Or did he really mean that he want to fix this situation? This is what I don't trust about politicians. They have that public persona to get votes, but deep down behind the scenes, they ain't for that stuff. So if you can, put the link in my email and show me Joe Biden's name on voting and documentation to push this. Now, like I said, Obama pushed this. Biden's going to side with Obama, even though they may not agree. But the preference of a captain and his troops is the troop fall to the line of the captain regardless. Even if they do have disagreement, the troop falls in line to the captain. The whole Democratic Party, majority of them will fall in line or fell in line with Barack Obama in his position going forward for America. Even though a lot of them probably did not agree with it. A lot of them probably agreed in public to seem like we're one team and we're going the same direction, but behind the scenes, it's the same thing. It's like union. I work with unions all the time. A union may endorse a candidate, but that doesn't mean each individual in that union is for that candidate. But publicly speaking, we're all going to support this candidate. But when it comes down to the voting booth, baby, my vote will show you whether I really believe that or not. And that's what happened oftentimes when it comes down to putting your signature on the legislation. That's personal. It's like I can go through this crime bill and I'm going to pull out every Democratic, majority of Democrats signed that crime bill, more than Republicans. But let's keep going. She said this video was not about the crime bill at all. You mentioned the crime bill. The video was about Joe Biden being at a Rotary Club talking like President Trump, and he was. He started talking about the drugs that's being moved back and forth in this country. Same thing Trump was saying. He probably didn't mention about the sex trafficking that Trump talked about, but believe me, that's in his vocabulary. You said I represent to my audience that it was and completely ignored the conversation on immigration. That was weird. I never said that. We talked about the crime bill. I agree with you with the crime bill. We talked about Joe Biden and his stance on immigration. And then I talked about your response on Joe Biden's stance against immigration. I even talked about John's response. So we talked about the whole deal if you go back and watch the video. Now, don't get me wrong. I am honored when somebody from TYT, one of the top online news organizations, is watching the Rob Report. Because I'm a novice at this. I haven't went to school for all this. I'm just totally depending on my creator on being the best that I can be. Okay? And I'm not going to always agree with my creator. I'm not going to always agree with you. And there's a lot of people that I know and love I don't agree with. But I still know and love them. And I still try to be respectful for them. So you're saying the clip I was pointing out, he has made some efforts. I was pointing out that he has made some efforts to fix his mistakes on immigration. The video was not about the crime bill at all. And you represented to your audience that it was and completely ignored the conversation of immigration. And that's weird. Brooke, go back and watch the video. I showed that same video before I got into your piece. That's how we started off. First of all, I talked about you. I talked about your credibility. I talked about who you work for. I talked about you're a journalist and you've been on this news episode. I talked about your YouTube channel, and I talked about the reason that you're at 1,000 because you are already a mainstream media. You don't need a YouTube channel to get your voice out there. Your voice is already out there. Had you got on YouTube, you'd probably be at 100,000, maybe 500,000. Not taking away from your talent. But then after I talked about your credibility, I went into the fact that I started talking about this immigration thing in Joe Biden's mouth. Then when the crime bill was mentioned, because Joe mentioned the crime bill in that same video. You know, the one 13 years ago? Joe mentioned, I crafted the crime bill. I did this, I did that, You would think his name was John. Let me stop. So we addressed that. I addressed immigration. I addressed the crime bill. I addressed the fact that why are you taking up for Joe Biden on the immigration issue? And why, and I agree with you on the crime bill. We're in agreement. We're not in disagreement. But you got to understand, I shift away from you on and just dealt with the crime bill on his own because he definitely don't get a pass for that. You don't think he should get a pass for that, do you? No, he shouldn't get a pass. Nobody should get a pass if they signed that bill until they corrected it, until they made amends, fixed it, overturned it, and came up with new legislation. This is one thing I can say about Bernie Sanders, who signed that same bigoted bill, because that bill was bigoted. And this is why a lot of people are calling Bernie Sanders a bigot, because he supported that bigoted bill. At least Bernie Sanders has a platform to reform the justice system. He actually has a strategy to reform it. Will he be able to do it? I don't know. Is he going to be true to it? I don't know. That's the thing about politicians. They talk one way, but as soon as they get in the office, you get fooled. I've learned not to put my trust in any politician just because they say it. And for those who got a record of on purpose harming my community, I ain't gonna believe them for nothing. Now, let me go back to what you were saying. So we talked about that. I talked a little bit more about it. It wasn't about you personally. I was just saying that you shouldn't try to let him slide on that. But even on the immigration, even though you said he supported legislation for the Dreamers. Well, when Barack Obama started this mess with the detainment, how come he did not tell Barack Obama, who Barack Obama said he advised Joe to give him advice? How come he didn't tell him that's a bad thing to do? We shouldn't be detaining all these people in these, which actually to me is a form of concentration camp. We shouldn't be locking these people up who are illegals. We shouldn't be separating these kids. Now, I believe Joe may be sensitive toward the children. I believe Barack Obama may be sensitive to children. I believe you're sensitive to the children. I'm sensitive to the children. The Dreamer, the Dream Act, all that was for the children of those who came here illegally. Joe Biden wasn't talking about that. So just because he done something to help out those who were born here legally in the United States and children, doesn't mean that's his overall viewpoint for people who come in here illegal. His viewpoint is probably still the same. Now, like I said, let's say he went along with the plan that Obama got. Like I said, what vice president bump heads in public with their president? No matter what Obama do, Joe Biden is going to support him. No matter what it is. Because Obama gave him something that he never ever would have ever got in his life without him. And that's an opportunity to be VP second to being president. And I guess this was an opportunity for Joe Biden to come from under that bigoted racism mess that he put himself in. And I guess Obama called himself washing that bigoted mess off of him. It's not off him. Obama couldn't do that. Joe can't even do that. And Joe wouldn't even do that because, like he said, I'm proud of my record. Now let's go back. Look at some more tweets of the wonderful Brooke. All right. So now I responded, I agree with you on the bill. I feel you. Just because it's 2019 do not mean we do not need to call these politicians out until they understand the devastation He is still proud of this bill, and I'm holding Sanders' feet also. At least he has a plan to correct this mess of a bill. I also say we do not need to be fair on Joe. We need to rev it up on Joe. All right, so Brooke responds, you can rev it up without lying. We're not talking about the crime bill. He spoke against Trump family separation policy. When talking about his public statement on immigration, that matters. You're acting like I said he was perfect just because I pointed out a good thing. Now I'm going to put up here, where did I lie about what you said? We do not know, I'm a slow typer, y'all, Biden stance on immigration. His record is his stance. What do you have on record to prove he has changed? I do not need a statement. I need signature to show support. All right, so that's my response to Brooke. All right, now, so she said you can rev it up without lying. All right, I don't take too kindly people calling me a liar. I never called you a liar, Brooke. Calling me a liar is probably as bad as me calling you sugar pie honey bunch, pumpkin cupcake. If you think that was offensive, lying is offensive to me. I never lied on you. And I never lied about Joe. The proof of Joe's stance on immigration is based on record. You can talk all you want. Yippity yapping and don't mean jack. Just because you say it doesn't mean, and of course, you know, I don't trust these politicians. All whatever come out their mouth is lies. It's where politics come from many bloodsuckers. Majority of them lie. Y'all always talking about Trump line, Trump line, Trump line. No, most of these politicians lie, even on the Democratic side. Pelosi, Schumer, all of them lie. Now, I originally put in that tweet where I returned to you, show me documentation where Joe Biden supported immigration in total, not the Dreamer Act. I never said that about the Dreamer Act. I never said he doesn't support it. I never said that. And where did I say that? I never said that. You mentioned the Dream Act to cover up from Joe Biden's past stance on immigration, which was downright Trumpish. You told him you the one said he was an old man. You the one say it's not fair. We need to well, you probably said we need to cut him some slack. But come on, he's an old man. That was 13 years ago. So what make you think he's changed on immigration? Being 8 years with Obama? Maybe so. People can change because he support the Dream Act. Dream Act is not the overall immigration policy. It's just one portion. And did I say he didn't support that? But I would always say, don't tell me what somebody said. Show me the vote. Show me record. Show me documentation where Biden supported an overall immigration plan, not just the Dream Act. And even the immigration plan going forward. Show me that. because I don't believe Biden for nothing. I've been following Biden's career for a long time. I believe Biden has a lot of bigoted ways in him. It's just softcore. Trump got bigoted ways in him, and it's just hardcore. And just like John said, sound the same to me. You say it's not, sound the same to me, look the same to me. The only difference is Trump did things to put these kids in, and they said a couple of kids passed away as a result of it. And I get on Trump too. But don't get me wrong, Biden passed legislation that killed a lot of black people, a lot of Hispanic people in the inner cities. He passed legislation, crafted and passed from his bare hands, putting innocent people in jail who did nothing. And the ones who did make a mistake, who probably said, I'll never do that again, he wasn't forgiving, kind, we need to let this slide toward them. A lot of them probably still locked up to this day. Some probably got caught up in death row because they probably tried to defend themselves against some idiot in prison when they shouldn't have been in the prison in the first place. Some idiot in prison trying to attack them, and they trying to defend themselves, and they end up killing this person. They end up being in prison the rest of their life. So you want to separate this thing, and I can. But the whole topic was crime bill, who voted for it, and immigration, and that piece. You want to focus on the immigration part? We can go there. The bottom line is I haven't seen anything about Joe Biden saying anything about the overall see, like I said, I butcher words up. The overall conversation concerning immigration, not just the DREAM Act. And not just for Latinos, but for anybody that come into this country. What is Joe Biden overall support in that area? And do you have documented evidence? Because word don't mean anything to me. Because sure, he gonna say anything next to Obama. That's his boy. He ain't gonna make him look bad. And that boy might be in a position to help him win the presidency if he decide to run. So he ain't gonna do nothing to dump on his boy. All right, Brooke said when talking about his public transportation, she said we were not talking about the crime bill. He was speaking out against Trump family separation policy. The whole point is Trump family separation policy is horrible. We had something similar to that in the Obama administration. It just wasn't named Obama's family separation policy, but they were separating families. Might not was separating kids as much as separating families, fathers from the mothers and kids. Bottom line, neither one of them are good. And we were not focusing on the whole point of that entire piece that you guys did was not about Trump's family separation policy. It was about Joe Biden sounding just like Donald Trump. That's what this is about. So I resent you calling me a liar, but hey, it's okay. I forgive you. I'll let you slide like you let Joe Biden slide. But there's nothing I lied to you on. All right, let's go to another one. I'm having fun. About TV clip. I was pointing out he has made some efforts to fix his mistakes on immigration. What are the efforts? What are the bills? What are the initiatives that he's personally pushed to fix the immigration situation? And my thing is, this video is not about the crime bill. This is what you say at all. Come on. It was brought up in the video. And it wasn't about just the crime bill. The crime bill was in the video, but immigration in the video, we went there. We already talked about that. You represent your audience that it was and completely ignore the conversation on immigration. That was weird. I started off with the immigration issue. The point is Joe Biden has not done anything for the overall immigration at all. And he only became a mouthpiece on the issue of the DREAM Act. A mouthpiece. But show me something where he is fixing his mistake on immigration overall. Give it to me, show it to me, and I can admit when I was wrong. People know that. I did a piece on the Proud Boys, and I assumed the Proud Boys was this. And when I find out other things, I came correct with the Proud Boys. And I don't support the Proud Boys, but I had to be truthful about the Proud Boy on some situations, and a whole lot of other situations where I was educated and I came up here and apologized for it. Show me something. You said he's made some effort to fix his mistakes on immigration. The DREAM Act is not the only fix to immigration. That's only to an aspect of immigration. What is he doing to deal with the overall issue of immigration? Because in my humble opinion, Joe Biden still believes what he said 13 years ago. And the only reason he's making efforts, in my humble opinion, to make it seem like he's for immigration is because he know he can't count on a Republican vote. If he can't get the black vote, and if he can't get the Hispanic vote, or any other kind of immigration vote or immigrant vote, he's toast. He can't win just on the white vote. He can't. And Republicans who probably like Joe Biden's previous stance will not cross over to become a Democrat. They loathe that to support Joe Biden. So Joe Biden gotta placate. Joe Biden gotta pander to blacks, Hispanics, and anything in between, because without their vote, he will not win. So sure, people will say anything to get your support, but that doesn't mean that they support you. Brooke is trying to be sincere, but you know me, man. Sincere is great. Showing that you're kind, considerate is great. And I'm kind, I'm considerate, I'm loving. I teach people to love. I teach people to forgive. But this is one thing that doesn't forgive. Your public record doesn't forgive. Your stance on certain policies, you can flip-flop all you want, but your record stands true, especially if you've done nothing to correct the mistakes of a bad record that you have. All right? Bernie Sanders do have a few bad supports. Overall supports, pretty decent. But the few bad supports that he had were very bad. And I'm holding his feet to the fight. Biden, on the other hand, oh God. Oh God. And I'm going to do a piece on one piece of legislation concerning Biden as soon as we deal with this. Now, back to you, Brooke. Okay. Brooke, I normally don't do interviews on my show. And I don't know if you have the time. I'm not a good interviewer. I want to learn. And I want to kind of practice on other people first before I invite you on the show. But maybe one day soon, throughout the election, we can do a Skype. Okay? I promise not to call you baby sugar pie, honey bunch. That was a Temptation song, right? Well, don't get mad at me because I was singing the Temptations to you. And look, you're a beautiful, smart, intelligent black woman. Okay? And I'm not really trying to disrespect you in general. I give you props. But I am not in agreement with your stance on letting Joe slide. I'm not in your agreement about being fair toward Joe or being considerate toward Joe, because when it came to my people, Joe was not being fair toward my people. He was not being considerate toward my people. He did worse things than Trump to this current date to my people. Now, not saying that Trump is not capable of doing worse. He is, because he holds the power. But Biden, as a legislator, have done more harm to the black community than Trump to this date. That crime bill was horrible. And yes, I'll get off the crime bill for a second. Even when it comes to immigration, you heard him. That ain't the first time Joe had that mindset. Joe been having that mindset up to the point that he became Barack Obama's president. Now, vice president. Now, if Barack Obama changed Joe, we need to see it. I don't want to hear it. I want to see it. I want to see Joe Biden, just like I tell Bernie Sanders. Your butt need to go to the community that you hurt the most. Now I'm getting off the immigration. I'm getting on everything. When you realize you hurt a community and you've done them wrong, it is your obligation to go out there and apologize, a real apology tour. Go there, say you're wrong, say I was wrong, I did wrong, and make amends. But what a narcissist do, what a white supremacist do, what a bigot do, is they refuse to do that. They refuse to own up to their mistakes. Why? Because they're superior. And superior people believe they don't make mistakes. Narcissist people don't believe they make mistakes. So I can seriously doubt, unless Simone Sanders got some magic somewhere, that that Biden is going to finally admit that he was wrong on the crime bill, that his most shining achievement was his worst mistake. And I will adjure that anybody up here black or my white counterparts or whatever, to get in Joe Biden's face and let him know your bill, bruh, was just as bad or if not worse than Trump's bills. Your prime bill is no different from Trump and his separation bill. Trump's separation bill isn't killing people by the droves. By the droves. The war on drugs, which Biden heavily supported, put more of my people on crack and dope and cocaine, cheap cocaine and heroin, because they allowed them people to run it in, and the federal government allowed those drugs to come in. That's a long story, not going to go into that, but you know about that, Brooke. You're a student of history, you're a journalist. And it turned the community upside down. And as a result of those people who just got to get that fix, they committed crimes and whatever to try to get their fix, neglected their family a whole nine. And as Joe Biden said, we created them. And Brooke, you get a chance, go look at my video called The Bigoted Policies of Joe Biden. I would like to see y'all do a piece like that. I mean, call it as it is. Don't cover up for it. Don't try to push it to the side. Don't try to shove it under a rug, sweep it under a rug. Call it out for what it is, a bigoted policy, and listen to Joe Biden and his hubris and his disdain. Thought the dude's head was going to blow off. How he admitted that we created him and we got to contain him. And then come back to me and telling me we need to let him go. Now I know you say, Robbie, you keep getting on the crime bill. Yes. Because ain't no way I am going to put the immigration bill, bad as it was. Yes, we need it. Yes, we need a reform. Yes, we need an easier path to citizenship. But we need to overturn that doggone crime bill and right the wrong. Just like we need to pay reparations to every African American descendant of slaves and right the wrong. And these talking points about what about the people? No, it doesn't matter. It's not coming out of your pocket. It's coming from the government who got the money. You owe black people. And come to matter of fact, immigrants, especially the so-called illegals, as Joe would say, not me. Especially anybody who come to this country, they got to understand it was American descendants of slaves that fought to bring civil rights here. Sure, they may have white people to support them. Sure, they may have some immigrants to support them. But it was the overall structure of American descendants of slaves that say, enough is enough. We want to be considered Americans. We want the same rights as any white person, and we're willing to die for it. And right now, what it seems like is the Democratic Party, as well as Republicans, are trying to gravitate to all these immigrants to depend on them. Once we get them on our side, we don't need the American descendants of slaves. I want to remind you all that if it wasn't from American descendants, your path to this country wouldn't be all that good. And just like any Southern Democrat or Dixiecrat or whatever you want to call it, who did not like immigration at all, who fought hard, and people like Joe Biden was part of that crowd and his buddies, and I'm going to go over that tomorrow, did not want that to happen. So since we want to talk about immigration and the crime bill, yeah, Joe Biden passed legislation, crafted it with his bare hands, legislation to tear down the black community. And right now they need our vote. But if they figure they can replace the American descendants of slave vote for any other votes, including immigrants, they will do it, Brooke. And I'm not going to just let that happen easy. Yes, I love all people, but you're not going to forget my people. You're not going to forgive it. And yes, we need a black agenda. Yes, we want reparations, and that ain't all we want. And I'm in support of it. Now, am I going to be, that's all I'm going to be doing here on this show? No. I'm a political pundit. I'm a YouTuber. Proud of it. I talk about whatever I want to talk about. Nobody owns me. Nobody owns me. Just like TYT can't get them mad at you. But, you know, anyway, I'm done. All right, Brooke, appreciate you responding to me. But I can't take I will challenge you on the liar thing. I will challenge you on the weird thing. I would challenge you. I am weird. Proud of it. I am a man. If you want to say I'm sexist, I appreciate a beautiful woman, and I kind of talk like that. And if it's not welcome, then I'll take it back. Okay, I'll try to be a little more professional when it comes to you. But I will still say you're beautiful. But I don't agree with you on giving Joe Biden a pass, and it's a hard disagreement. And I think we should ride Joe Biden, like I said, like never before. And ain't nobody lied up here. Go check what I said and show me where I lied. You put it in there, because I did not lie. I did not lie. No. And for as Joe Biden, that's your liar. Why don't you go talk to him about that? Hey, thank you for watching that episode of The Rob Report. Before you go now, I need you to do two things for me. First thing, I want you to like the video if you liked it. Second thing, I want you to share it all across social media. And if you have not subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button right now. Stop and do it. As Jimmy Dore says, sometimes you think you're subscribed, or you go check and find out you're not subscribed. So make sure you check that you're subscribed and hit the notification bell. That'll let you know when I put a new content out. I'm not a fan of Super Chat, so if you plan on giving to the efforts of Bob TV, make sure you do that through Bob TV NYC at paypal.me. Anybody who want to have free access to my Patreon channel, I'm trying to save you money on your cable bill. I ran into a program that I think everybody need, everybody can afford, and everybody should have, and that link is down there below. 5,000 plus channel, best sports package, and the best premium TV, and even international channels, and you can access this all over the world. Go ahead and check that out, get your free trial, and if you decide to support, become members of those two services, we'll go ahead and give you full access to the Patreon channel, and there's no cost to it. So my name is Robert Brown with The Rob Report. Thank you for watching. I'll holler at you later. Peace.